Newcastle United have a £20 million bid rejected by Watford for the striker João Pedro. One lucky Newcastle fan was invited to Joe Linton's house where he picked up a signed copy of a shirt and got to FaceTime Bruno as well. And questions are being asked as the Newcastle and Chelsea owners put together some business plans off the pitch. Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Toon Tuesdays, your weekly roundup of Newcastle United news. I am currently away in Spain, but that would not keep me from doing my weekly update of everything Newcastle. So much going on right now, and I'm not quite burned just yet. I know loads of you guys watch Toon Tuesdays every week, but still haven't hit that big red subscribe button. So if that's you, please do. It really helps me, it really helps the channel. It means you do not miss any future videos. We'll start things off by quickly talking about the 0-0 draw against Brighton at the weekend. We knew it was going to be a tough game, and I think it was a good point. We did have some spells in the game, but ultimately I was quite happy to snatch that point and run, to be honest. Nick Pope kept us in the game a number of times. We had clearances off the line by Shaw and Trippier, and overall I think they were probably the better team. So as I say, it was great that we were able to pick up that point against a decent side. Now we move on to Manchester City this weekend. 4:30 at St James's Park on Sunday. So it is on TV, it is on Sky. As it happens, Newcastle and Man City are the only two teams so far, so after two games, yet to concede in the Premier League. And I'll tell you what, if we could take another 0-0 against Man City this weekend, I would be very happy. I think it's going to be a tough game. Haaland has started things off as you'd expect he would, scoring goals. We played really well against Nottingham Forest. Not as well against Brighton. I'm hoping we're back in front of a home crowd. We can try and take something from that game. Don't get me wrong. A draw, I would take that now. But I think we have been solid defensively. And they will be hard to break down, and Haaland will be tough to manage, but, you know, I wouldn't be a Newcastle fan if I didn't hope we'd get something, so fingers crossed for that. And then after Man City, Newcastle play Tranmere on Wednesday night. It is an away game, it is down there, it's in the League Cup, the Carabao Cup, Wednesday, 7:45. Tickets are now on sale if you want to get yourself down there. It's currently 100 plus loyalty points, but it is also on TV. It's on Sky. As I say, 7:45 on Wednesday. And it's not a bad draw. League Two side. I'm hoping we can go down there and get the job done. I would have rather that it was at St James's Park, but still, not a bad draw. And we know Eddie Howe wants to try and have a good cup run. So that is definitely, or I should say, hopefully, a good start. We don't have a great record in the cups against any team, to be honest. So I'm hoping we are a different side now. We can go down there and pick up a nice win. And then we actually have 3 away games in a row. Because after Tranmere, then it's Wolves next weekend. And then it's Liverpool in the midweek. So lots of away games coming up. A lot of games coming up. That's why we need to try and bring in a few players in this transfer window to try and help with what will be a manic season. It was not just the football on show against Brighton, because Newcastle also showed off their new 4th kit, if that's what you want to call it. I still think Newcastle created this for release as a collector's item. It has the Tyne Bridge, the Millennium Bridge, it's got the Civic Centre, it's got St James's Park, and I do think they plan to release that as a one-off collector's item. Because we had colour clashes with Brighton, we ended up wearing it as our actual shirt. Slightly disappointed that it was released with Fun 88 across the front. It is actually over the top of St James's Park, so fingers crossed they might re-release it as its intended collector's item, and maybe it won't have Fun 88 on it. But whether it had Fun 88 on it or not, it did not stop the fans from going out and buying it. It sold out online instantly, and they had very few left in the shop as well. I didn't get a chance to buy one, so I'm actually praying that they either re-release the ones with the Fun 88 on, or as I say, hopefully we could see the collector's version. Let me know down below if you ordered one. Were you lucky enough to get your hands on one before they sold out? As I say, they sold out pretty much instantly. And another person who was on show, as I mentioned, was Nick Pope. Had a fantastic game, and that was off the back of him going viral the night before. Burger King tweeted out to say tomatoes or gherkins. The Newcastle polls account, Toon polls, replied saying Nick Pope. Nick Pope then proceeded to go viral as all of the Newcastle fans tweeted Nick Pope. Burger King tweeted Nick Pope. McDonald's tweeted Nick Pope. Just madness. No real actual context to it other than the fact that everyone was buzzing. And yeah, he showed what he could do the next day when he got a clean sheet. I think he was number 10 worldwide trending, which was just mad. Who will be the next player to trend worldwide? We'll have to wait and see. Could it be ex-player Rob Elliott? Possibly not, but he has been in the news. He has now joined Gateshead as their first ever technical director. So big up Rob Elliott. Best of luck in your new role over at Gateshead. Obviously, they were very recently promoted at the end of last season from the National League North to the National League. Ex-player Iron Mike Williamson is the player manager. I'm not sure how much he gets involved on the pitch, but certainly is the manager there. So best of luck to him as well. I know that Rob Elliott actually spent some time over at Gateshead after he was released by Newcastle. He then did a bit of work with Watford, but was still travelling back to Gateshead to help out. So I've no doubt there's a great relationship there. And it's great to see ex-players like Mike Williamson, like Rob Elliott, stay in the area and continue to get involved with some local teams. So yeah, big up to Rob Elliott and best of luck for the upcoming season. The Newcastle midfielder Joe Linton invited a lucky fan and his family over to his house the other day. The fan is called Kev Taylor. If you haven't seen him before, he is the man who got Joe Linton tattooed on his stomach. I remember this happened a little while ago now, and I remember Joe Linton had said he wanted to say thank you to him for, going out there, showing his support, getting that tattoo done, and it looks like he has done that. Kev was invited over there. He was provided with a match-worn shirt with Joe Linton on the back. Joe Linton signed it for him as well, and I wasn't aware of this, but it looks like Kev has actually gone and got himself Bruno tattooed on his stomach as well, and then by the looks of things, Joe Linton actually FaceTimed Bruno, and then Kev had the chance to talk to Bruno over FaceTime as well. So well done to you, mate. Big up. I love to see happy stories about Newcastle and the fans away from the pitch as well. As I understand, Kev was invited in, got to have a little kick around in the garden with him and his kids as well, which is just fantastic. So big up to you, Kev. I look forward to seeing who you might get tattooed on your stomach next. When Chelsea played Spurs at the weekend, we saw Amanda and Murdad up in the crowd with one of the Chelsea co-owners. We've spoke a little bit about what they could have been talking about. Could it be transfers? Who knows? It's no secret that Newcastle are linked with a number of Chelsea players, specifically those who could be available for loan. But then off the pitch, a couple of questions have now been asked as the PIF, Newcastle owners, have now invested $900 million alongside Kane International. Kane International is the company owned by Goldstein, the co-owner of Chelsea. So Newcastle owners, Chelsea owners have together invested $900 million in A-Man Group. Now they are a luxury, ultra-luxury hotels and residences. And it's to accelerate its global expansion. So part owners of Newcastle PIF, part owners of Chelsea Kane International have come together on a business project outside of football, and now people are questioning whether that could potentially relate to what is happening between the clubs in the football world as well. Obviously Newcastle owners were spotted at Stamford Bridge at the weekend. Is that in relation to what's going on off the pitch as well? I've got no idea. What I do know is that a lot of these big companies have fingers in a lot of pies. PAF has got money everywhere. It's not just Newcastle. So is it a big surprise to see them also investing in a hotel group or a luxury hotel group? No, not really. But we'll have to wait and see. As I say, questions have been put to whether off-the-field dealings could potentially integrate into football and on-the-field dealings. That's what's coming out at the minute. All we can do is wait and see what happens next. But in terms of transfers, it is no secret that Newcastle are interested in some of the Chelsea players. It was spoken by Sky Sports, Keith has said that Conor Gallagher could be available to Newcastle should Chelsea be able to bring in other players first. Chelsea look like they really are going out there to try and bring in players. They've placed a 45 million bid for Gordon. They've placed bids for Aubameyang. And should they bring these players in, you would expect the likes of Gallagher, Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic to all be available. And I have no doubt we are queuing up with probably a few other teams to try and take one of those players. And as we get into the final 2 weeks of the transfer window, Newcastle continue to try and bring new players in. It's reported by Sky Sports and a number of outlets that Newcastle placed a 17 to 20 million pound bid for the Watford striker João Pedro, which was rejected. It's understood Newcastle could be going back in again for him at a higher fee. Watford have rejected it, but it's understood that they haven't said not for sale and that something could work out. So we'll have to see what happens there. The Ramos deal, the Benfica striker Ramos, it's understood Newcastle are extremely interested and could be prepared to go up to the 35 million asking fee. Lots coming out today that Wolves are a real contender for him as well. Obviously, Jimenez, their main striker, has been injured for the start of the season. They are also desperate for a striker, so we'll have to see what happens there. And as I've mentioned, Eddie Howe said last week that it didn't quite go to plan in terms of transfers, and already on Tuesday at the start of next week, he had said he hopes this will be the week we see something happen. And as I've mentioned, so many transfer stuff coming out yesterday, so many reports, bids flying in, being rejected, but we're out there, we're trying to do something. And as I've mentioned, we'll have to see what happens with the Chelsea stuff as well, because I think those players will be available. But I am quietly confident that we will have one of these Chelsea players brought in. The thing is with them, there's a number of teams interested. We've got to wait for Chelsea to buy the players before we can have them. And that could well go on till the end of the window. I think it's going to be a very exciting 2 weeks for us Newcastle fans. I am still confident we will get something done. We're just waiting to hear for it to be confirmed. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's Toon Tuesdays. If you have, be sure to hit that big red subscribe button. As I mentioned earlier, I know loads of you guys are watching these videos every week, but still haven't hit the big red button. It really helps me, and I'm uploading daily Newcastle content at the moment. So much going on, and I'm just praying we will have some confirmed transfer videos out very soon. So do not miss them. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, enjoy your evening, and I'll catch you guys later.